What is going on, y'all? I'm Wesley from Aconnectiontv, the network, the one channel on YouTube where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And I know this video is full HD, and I know this video is all on me, but yeah, I have the camera set up on my desk. That way it's like closer, and I like being able to I don't know, I like this better. It's more in your face because you get to see my face. I need to shave. I know my eyes look tired. I know, but that is neither here nor there. I am a brother that works 3 jobs like a Jamaican. Shout out to the friends that I know that are Jamaican. That's why I said that. There's no racism, no bullcrap like that. It's just the truth. Jamaicans, a lot of Jamaicans work many jobs. But yeah, I am going to try to keep up with these videos as best as I can. That is the reason why I am late with my videos about The Walking Dead and The Real Housewives of Atlanta. When you guys watch my videos and you see me go like this a lot, no, I'm not a heroin addict or a crack coke fiend. I am a very hairy person, and when hair grows back on my face, it itches. It's like an irritational reflex, I guess, if you will. But anyway, we are here for The Walking Dead. The latest episode is entitled Inmates. And the reason why I believe it's entitled Inmates is because we get to discover what happened with all of the inmates of the prison. I like how we spent time getting to understand what Carl was going through, what Rick was going through, and what Michonne was going through. I love the fact that they had their own episode. But because the cast is so huge, they needed to wrap up everyone else. I'm okay with that. Because you know why I say that? When I started to get into Maggie's narrative in the beginning, and she was running with Daryl, and they were both running for their life, I was just like, okay, this better not be a whole fucking episode of this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, was it just me? Because I was thinking to myself, last episode was boring, but it was okay because I was able to deal with the character development, because those particular 3 characters are ones that I really care for. The paired up matches with the people that they have for the 2nd episode, I wasn't really a fan of. I kind of knew that Tyree was going to be with the kids, and I kind of knew that Tyree was going to be the one running into Carol. I called that out. I loved that whole portion of the episode. And the fact that Maggie, Sasha, and Greg, I think his name, Dale, I don't know what the hell his name is. Whatever his name is, him, I was like, all right, I'm really not here for that. But it was looking hot, though, because Maggie and Sasha were looking like some fierce Michonne trainees, because they was looking like the ones they shouldn't be fucked with, right? And you know, Greg or Dale, whatever the hell his name is the token punk being protected by these 2 chicks. It was hot. The concept was hot. But I was like, I really don't need their story. I really don't. When we get with Daryl and Maggie, I was like, all right, it's cool, I guess. But I thought that Daryl should have been the one meeting up with Carol. That I would have loved to see them 2 go at it. A whole episode of Daryl and Carol would have been hot for me. I'm just saying. To be quite honest, I actually did like, and I know I'm going all over the place, but it's alright, vibe with me. I hope y'all like this video, and I hope you got something to drink and you're chilling. Let's adopt similar connections despite our differences about The Walking Dead. I was really feeling Glenn's storyline, and Glenn could have had his own episode. Yes, he could have. But Daryl and Maggie, no. Sasha, no. Daryl and Beth, I keep saying Maggie. Daryl and Beth, no. Sasha and Maggie and Dale, whatever his name is, no. Carol, the kids, and Tyree, that was a win. And Glenn, that was a win. But anyways, let's get back into this. All right. So we discover we discovered that Maggie was feeling like prison was home at one point. She was writing into her journal and she was venting moments of joy in her journal in regard to the prison and how she thinks that her and her family and the rest of the crew can be at the prison for the rest of their lives. Didn't really see how that was remotely possible. But okay, Maggie, you want to have high hopes and dreams because Herschel is your father. Rest in peace, Herschel. We love you, buddy. But I wasn't here for that. Seeing them run through the woods, not the woods, but the grass, and then they fall, I'm like, oh, whatever. It's dramatic. Then we get to, you know, a campfire. Beth is like, you're a tracker. You need to track them. Maybe they're alive. Daryl is shocked. I mean, he thinks everybody is dead. What just happened? He saw Herschel get his neck chopped off. So it's just like, Daryl is just lost in translation. Mac's like, fine, I'll do it myself. I hate when females get all bold, knowing damn well they're not a Laura Croft, and they want to grab a knife or grab a steak or grab a golf club and act like they're all badass. That annoys me, but you know, I keep calling her Maggie. Beth does that and she ventures off. We get to the next day and they start to track tracks. They find footprints. They find grapes that were eaten. They find this bloodbath of bodies on the train tracks. They find a lot of stuff. And when they find the bloodbath of bodies on the train tracks, there's a little black boot that was left amongst the chaos and the residue of the bodies that was eaten. And so Beth thinks it's one of the girls and she starts to cry. Daryl has no emotions. He's like, look, chick, let's go. We got to continue. And that's that. It looks like Daryl and Beth walked the opposite way to where Carol, the kids, and Tyree walked. I don't know. Was it just me? I'm like, oh, damn. They still separated because the bitches ain't going in that direction. I don't know. I'm like, what's going on? Like, they separating themselves from each other. I'm not feeling it. We move past that. Then we get to the kids. Lizzie, Micah, Tyree, Kick-Ass, a.k.a. Judith. I'm so glad Judith, the baby, is still alive. I kind of figured that the kids was the one that had her. Didn't really, well, Tyree was with the kids. So I kind of figured that they was the ones that had her. But, you know, you just never know with The Walking Dead. So it was nice to see that Judith, a.k.a. Kick-Ass, was still alive. We find out that, one, Tyree's arm is still jacked up, bleeding all over the place. The girl, Micah, is scared shitless. Lizzie is like, bitch, get some balls. We're about to go through this. We're not gonna survive if you're gonna remain a punk bitch. So, bitch, get some balls. I'm like, Lizzie is a G, but Lizzie really isn't a G. And the reason why I say Lizzie really isn't a G is although she told her little sister to tuck the shirt back so you can grab the knife faster, why are people getting a sudden moment of shock and daze to where they don't understand what's happening around them to where they could possibly be killed? If it was not for Carol bringing her Terminatrix ass back into the mix, those kids and Judith would have been gone. Tyree should have never left them fucking kids. I don't really understand why he did that, to be honest. I mean, you guys are a group. You're a grown ass man. Why are you leaving two little kids and a baby to fend for themselves with a gun and a knife? Why? Because they shot real live humans back at the prison and saved your ass? The team should have stayed together. I wasn't really feeling that whole concept because and then what was up with Lizzie's crazy, I don't need my notes, fuck my notes. What was up with Lizzie's crazy ass suffocating Judith and then losing her train of thought while she's suffocating Judith? I'm thinking to myself, Lord, if this bitch, if Lizzie kills Judith, oh my God, I'm telling you, Judith would have ended up dead because Micah was like, Lizzie, they're coming, pop. she shoots off the gun. Lizzie still lost in translation, suffocating poor Judith. If Carol would not have walked up on the kids would have been dead. Judith would have been dead before Micah and Lizzie would have gotten eaten. And Tyree would have been by his lonesome with his fucked up arm. That's all I'm saying. I don't understand why Tyree left the kids. I really don't. I don't. But I like how the director allowed us to find out what really happened with the people that Daryl and Beth were tracking. I thought that was cool. This guy and his friends tell Carol and Tyree about this underground terminal, this sanctuary. I'm thinking to myself, what if the sanctuary has no one left? And then Carol and Tyree end up holding arms to bringing this sanctuary back to life, and they create a new prison. And Carol's the head bitch in charge. No longer Rick. I know I'm reading into things, but I'm thinking that would be hot. What do y'all think? You know what? It would have been nice to see Rick and Michonne cross my screen. I'm just saying. So after rekindling our love for Carol, the Terminatrix, was I the only one that was excited to see Carol? I had read on a tweet or Instagram, I think it was my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Aconnectiontv. Y'all look crazy on Instagram. And somebody had sent me saying something that, oh, it was on Twitter. I know that Wesley went off when Carol came back. So I wasn't surprised when I finally watched the episode, because I actually watched it today, which is Monday. I know I'm late, but yeah, I was shocked to see Carol. In my head, I'm like, where the fuck is her car? So to find out that Carol had went back to the prison, saw the aftermath, saw everybody split up, and she followed them. She left the car back because the zombies were there. I'm like, where the fuck is her car? Where's her supplies and everything? I'm like, why is she walking around naked? But we find that out. I'm like, okay, no problem. No problem. Then we meet up with Maggie, Sasha, and Dale, whatever, the black boy. Sasha is patching up, you know, the black boy's hurt shoulder because he got shot. I want to say he got shot. Maggie sharpening her knife on a stone. And Sasha, they both look like badass bros. Maggie's like, all right, y'all can take up camp here. I'm about to go find my man. Maggie's like, no, you can't do that. Sasha's like, no, you can't. I'm tired. Oh my God. 3 jobs, y'all. Maggie and Sasha's like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. So, Maggie's like, I don't care what you're saying. I'm going to go find him. I'm going to go find Glenn. I'm going to follow the bus. You're either coming or you're not coming, but I'm out. The black guy was like, look, this is what we got to do. We have no choice. So let's go help her. We got to stick as a team. Long story short, the whole bus episode was a bit, I was like, whatever, I can do without this. Them letting one zombie out at a time, I'm like, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. And showing up, it didn't work. They all busted out. I mean, they alive, they vigorous, they can reflex well. They survived the onslaught of zombies. But you know, Maggie gotta bring her little loving ass up in the bus to make sure Glenn is not a part of this audience. When I tell you, I'm done with the Maggie, Sasha, Dale story, because the story was bullshit. She falls on the ground, she falls in the sea, she's crying, laughing, because you know Glenn is alive. I was pissed off. When these people have my boy, Glenn, wake up. And when he wake up, y'all know where the fuck he at? He at the prison still. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. There is no way Glenn is still at the prison. How the hell did he get up there and knocked out? What's going on? Like, what? He's still at the prison. I was like, son, say word. That was the hottest part. That was the hottest part of this episode, when Glenn woke up still at the motherfucking prison. He was still at, you know, I was hating on the whole freshly Polaroid picture of Maggie sitting on a dresser that's completely filled with dust, but the white border around the Polaroid looks brighter than all day. I'm like, damn, couldn't y'all really just age the picture a little bit? Y'all could have took the picture in the beginning of the season. I mean, it looked far-fetched. But anyway, Glenn falls on the bed. He gets a little unhappy. And he looks at the picture and he's like, fuck that, I gotta find Maggie. Then he suits up. He gets like this Resident Evil looking armor or whatever. He goes food shopping throughout the prison, gets some weapons and a backpack, and he's out ready to go. When he's trying to exit the damn prison, he runs into a rent-a-cop. The rent-a-cop. Okay? From the governor's squad. The one that had a little sister and the big sister. The two that no longer exist. We run into her punk ass. And I'm thinking to myself, I can care less if there is any victim or remnants. Let me call her a remnant. If there's any remnants of the governor's posse, I can care less. Because I don't want to see her. I don't care about her. It's like whatever. Whatever. Glenn has a heart. He saves her. He gets her head back in the game. They go running through. I like the creative Molotov. I thought that was slick how, you know, he looked at the alcohol and was like, I could create a Molotov with this. I thought that was slick, Glenn. Glenn is still weak though. Remember, Glenn was very, very ill. He had just gotten the cure. So his adrenaline is pumping at this point. His adrenaline is keeping him awake. But when they make it out of the prison grounds, and, you know, they suddenly get attacked by 3 zombies. Glenn loses consciousness and he falls down. And then we're met by, what was his name? We're met by Sergeant Ford. Sergeant Ford and 2 other people. I'm like, who? Who the fuck are these no-names? Like, I hope they're not about to be some villains because I don't want another governor wannabe. I really don't. I want the rest of the season to be about them and survival and becoming a group and becoming a unit so that next season we could come up to something, you know, bigger and badder than them and fight against the odds. That's what I want. This whole Sergeant Ford bullshit, I'm already over it. But did y'all see the way Michonne looks in the next episode? Michonne was looking fine, divine with the dreads all long and prettied up. Maybe then again that could be, you know, a part of her past because she didn't look like that last episode. So I don't understand how she all dressed and looking good. But I don't know. What do y'all think Sergeant Ford is going to end up doing or being like? Do you think he's going to be like the governor? Or do you think he's going to be like Herschel? Or do you think he's going to overthrow Rick? Like, what do you think? And do you think that Tyree, the kids, and Carol are going to make their own prison situation in the subway systems? I think that would be hot. I think that would be hot. Do you think that Carol would accept Rick into her compound? Into her new prison? I will say from Aconnectiontv, the network, I want y'all to leave comments below this video. Let me know what y'all thought about The Walking Dead. Oh my God, I'm tired. Oh my God. Love y'all. Subscribe to Aconnectiontv, the network, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram, Aconnectiontv. Deuces.